Breaking news, which is coming from the United States. President Donald Trump meets Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at the White House. This is the first meeting of an ASEAN leader with President Donald Trump. Trump says he will soon meet President Xi Jinping of China. He was invited by President Xi Jinping. This is what President Donald Trump has claimed. And on the other side, President Marcos of Philippines has said that we do not have to balance between United States and China. We have an independent policy. United States is our strongest partner. This is what Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of Philippines have said, and we have to maintain the relationship. This is what the Filipino president visiting United States has said. But before meeting President Donald Trump, Philippines president met with the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, because this visit comes at a time when Philippines is facing concern over China's expansionist policies in Indo-Pacific region, especially in the South China region. And we are concerned about defense of our territory. This is what the Filipino president has said on the US soil while meeting with the US president. Look at what President Donald Trump has to say during this meeting.
Well, we have a lot of meetings possible. President Xi has invited me to China, and we'll probably be doing that in the not too distant future, a little bit out, but not too distant. And I've been invited by a lot of people, and we'll make those decisions pretty soon. And I don't mind if he gets along with China, because we're getting along with China very well. We have a very good relationship. In fact, the magnets, which is a little complex piece of material, but the magnets are coming out, very well. They're sending them in record numbers. We're getting along with China very well, and I don't mind if the president dealt with China. If that's meant, because I think he has to do what's right for his country. I've always said, make the Philippines great again. Do whatever you need to do, but you're dealing with China wouldn't bother me at all.
No, well, now it is something that we have to do in any case,
Yeah.
and certainly, as you say, we are chairing ASEAN for 2026. There is no need, in a sense, to balance, as you characterize it, to balance our relationship within the United States and China, simply because our foreign policy is an independent one, and we are essentially concerned with the defense of our territory and the exercise of our sovereign rights. Now, whether we do this not alone, we need to do this with our partners. And again, our strongest partner has always been the United States. But of course, we are trying to form coalitions and multilateral relations so that those like-minded nations who share the same values as we do, who hew to international law, most specifically the UNCLOS, present that position very clearly to anyone who has intentions of unilaterally changing the world order, and that is how we are guided.